Welcome to Bastard Quest. I'm your game bastard, Kyle.
I am Todd.
I'm Corey.
I'm Austin.
Hey, buddy.
Tonight we're playing Delta Green. Delta Green is... when the hell did it come out? I don't know. Sometime in the 90s. Basically, it is a Call of Cthulhu type game, except it's in the modern era. Call of Cthulhu, the original game, was in the 20s, 30s.
Shit, I thought we were playing Delta Force. I've been working on my Lee Marvin impersonation all day.
I mean, there can be... So Delta Green is a government agency, so there can be special operations forces people in Delta Green. None of the pre-generated characters are that. This is one of the games that our Patreon members have been trying to get us to play for a long time, so we're finally doing it.
Yeah,
so
that's got to be like one of the first ones they mention
Yes.
when we asked them on the Patreon Discord what
Very
we should
early.
play. They're all like, they want to see us die, apparently.
Yeah, this is a game with Lovecraftian horrors and a good amount of terrible things. So one of the differences I noticed from Call of Cthulhu and Delta Green is that certain kind of guns just have a lethality rating.
Well, there's guns. That's the big difference. The other one, you've got
one big strength.
You've got a quill and a fucking library card, and that's all you got, and you're fighting these things that have no heads.
Well, with the lethality rating, you just roll percentiles, and if you roll under it, you just instantly die.
Oh.
Like you don't jot down damage to your hit points.
Oh.
You just get wasted.
Okay.
Yeah, so similar to Call of Cthulhu, there you have a sanity rating. The lower that gets, the worse things are for you. You have hit points and will points, I think. I don't think there were will points in Call of Cthulhu.
No, I think it's just sanity, right?
Yeah, sanity and hit points. But generally, skills work the same way. They're all percentile. You want to roll under them. That's a good thing to do. And like I alluded to, I have some pre-generated characters. I found these on the internet.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No idea if they were well made or not, but I don't care so much since I'm not playing them. I chose them specifically to suit your personalities.
Oh, okay.
okay.
So we're not picking. We're getting assigned characters.
Yeah, no, this isn't a fucking democracy. See me out here trying to throw an election like the Wisconsin Republican Party? No. Wait, sort of.
Fascist Quest.
That is a very different show.
Pretty sure that's just Joe Rogan.
So, Austin, you are the postal inspector.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, nailed it. Todd, you're the mob doctor.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Corey, you're the physicist.
Okay. That does match my personality.
So Delta Green is not a monolithic organization like the FBI or the ATF or anything like that. Delta Green is a very highly secretive, very small organization, and it pulls people from across society and government agencies to do jobs when it identifies some unnatural thing going on. And as Delta Green agents, your job is to identify, contain, and cover up. Like, part of Delta Green's mission is to keep people from knowing exactly what's going on, because that does no good for anyone. So do you guys want to talk about your characters for a minute now that you've had 4 minutes to look at them?
Yes.
My character's name is Emmy LaBarbara, mob doctor, born January 6th,
Oh.
1980.
Yeah, I feel like that makes it okay.
Dropped out of med school.
The mob she doctors for is the Proud Boys.
Well, not now. I mean, that's the Department of Corrections.
You nailed the physical description. It says a bit fat, but otherwise lovely and very talented. I feel like that's an apt description of myself. Thank you, Kyle.
I didn't make these. I literally downloaded them. But you're welcome. So what are your top skills? Like, what's some stuff you have high skill rankings in?
I have a robust constitution. I have nimble fingers and dexterity. And as far as power goes, I'm occasionally focused.
Austin, I gave you the most riveting one.
Oh, yes. I'm Wayne Claiborne, a mailman. But I feel the need to point out that even though I am an everyman, some of my highest skills are in accounting, art, driving, humanities, and guns.
Well, this is set in the 90s, isn't it?
I think late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, this is the heyday of postal workers going fucking ape shit and shooting up. Now everybody does it. It's
Well, I'm
cool,
just a
but-
hair's breadth away.
Yeah.
Postal workers were really, ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, they're our founding fathers of murder in a lot of ways.
Well, he's described as doughy, curly-haired, and bespectacled, so I'm assuming also white. So, I mean, we're fitting every profile here.
What a crack team of secret agents.
Yeah. You're welcome, America. Corey, tell me about your physicist.
My physicist's name is Joseph McCoy. He went to Duke University, so would not be welcome in the state of Kentucky.
Uh-oh.
Friends with Christian Leitner. He's got some bonds. I think this is just people he knows. I don't think these are people who are following him around, because I don't think his secretary will be featured in this. He has a dog named Douglas.
Yeah, he does.
Named after Patreon member Chris Douglas. Why not?
It is now.
He's a megalomaniac.
I mean, all physicists were in the 90s.
Well, it seems like he's fairly a tough guy, like combat-wise. His physical description, he's hairy and good health despite his age. He was, looks like he's around 50. That's not that old. I'm almost 50.
When was he born?
Well, if this is late 90s, he was born in June 1950. So, yeah, pushing 50. He's about my age.
Yeah.
I'm 47, so.
Yeah, so he's
not like Todd old or anything.
No. I mean, you had 3 years. Those are a long 3 years.
I would also like to point out that Emmy likes to avoid bureaucracy, so I'm assuming she's anti-vax.
Well, most of your characters are, let's be honest. I've noticed a trend.
Any questions about your character sheet in terms of mechanics?
I mean, it looks pretty similar to Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
Not quite as fancy. It looks more. They kind of look like some kind of W2 or some shit.
I think that's intentional. So there's another mechanic when I was going through the rules. I don't think it's in Call of Cthulhu, but in Delta Green, if you're successful in dealing with an eldritch horror, your sanity can actually go up.
Okay, cool.
Basically, if you successfully deal with something that can potentially cost you sanity, you can go up by some amount.
And I also see in here, Kyle, there's like breaking point next to sanity.
So if you get to 0 sanity, you're out of the game, essentially. If you reach your breaking point, you get a mental disorder.
Oh.
Then there are rules for setting a new breaking point below that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, Corey, that means you were absolutely right about my character. My sanity, my current sanity is at 65. My breaking point is at 52.
Oh boy.
You're about to go on a spree.
Mine's lower, Austin. Current sanity is 60, breaking point's 52.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, mine's not that much better. Current sanity point's 55, breaking point 48.
Good Lord.
There we go.
Better tell everybody on the Postal Service mailing list, which is one of my bonds.
Oh, he's keeping a list, are we?
God.
This character's a fucking loser.
You're just on a chain letter list. It's your friends.
It's not even friends. It's people we forward spam to.
Your coupons to a cash advance place.
I keep forwarding that thing about reading words out of order.
Austin's real tight with the company that has you draw a turtle, Timmy the Turtle.
Oh, to go to art school in Chicago?
Yeah.
Holy shit, what a deep cut. I forgot all about that.
Are you from Pueblo, Colorado?
Do you want to go to art school? Just draw Timmy the Turtle. You might be good enough.
God damn it.
The pirate. Come on.
So obviously those were for-profit colleges, and they were going to let anybody. Can you imagine somebody sending in a Timmy the Turtle drawing that was so bad they had to reject them?
What if that company that sent out the Timmy the Turtle mailers was just a cover for Delta Green? Like, that's our home base of operation.
Pueblo, Colorado.
That's
how you all got in?
That's how we got it. Yeah, that was. We all drew Timmy the Turtle.
Perfect. Freehand. Didn't even trace.
Each of you also has a code name. Apparently, Delta Green agents, even when they're on a mission, try to keep secrets from each other because you never know when somebody's going to go crazy and become a warlock.
Jesus.
So, Corey, what's your character's code name?
Joseph McCoy's code name is Randolph.
Right, so you'd be Agent Randolph. Austin?
Okay.
Well, mine's Stewart.
Okay. Agent Stewart. Todd?
Agent Sellers.
Okay. See, we've picked a voice.
Yes.
Hello.
This reminds me.
Gotta start using it.
So you're pretty much the secretary from Ghostbusters. Is it?
That's
Annie
right.
Potts?
Yes, Annie Potts. Kentucky native.
We
Annie
got
Potts.
one! A Cthulhu.
I think we mean the great Annie Potts.
Hey, yes, of course.
Yeah, it's sad what happened to her. Jaguar.
Really?
I was like, what? Wait.
No, as far as I
Waiting with
know,
bated breath.
she's fine. I think she's fine.
Yeah, recovering nicely.
Yeah, well, yeah. She's in intensive care.
Corvette Summers, Annie Potts.
Yes.
So the three of you, it's the late 90s, getting close to the 4th of July and say 1999. Stewart is investigating anomalies in the Postal Service in Texas.
Does anyone know he's doing this, or is this just a thing he does?
It's after hours.
Okay.
Randolph is researching particle physics in North Carolina. Sellers is stitching up a low-level enforcer. At some point during that day, each of you get a phone call from your Delta Green handler, and they tell you that there are tickets waiting for you at, of course, your respective airports to get on a flight to Chicago and then to a small town called Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
The next day, the three of you are picked up at a small rural airport early in the morning in a white Ford Bronco.
Al Cowlings is driving. Oh.
It was OJ's. It was repossessed by the government.
Okay.
No. The Bronco's driven by Russell Carter. He's your handler. You all assume that's not his real name. And whether or not he actually does work for the CIA, who can say?
It's a Patreon member, Russell Carter.
Yeah.
May not be his real name in real life.
Wow. Who can say? So he hands you each a file when you get in the car. He starts it up, starts driving. You're looking through it. He tells you the file's about Dave Evans. Patreon member Dave Evans.
Thanks, Dave.
He's a 6-year-old boy. He was just found wandering naked in a field in LBL. Any of you guys ever heard of it? Local state park, land between the lakes.
Yeah, I've been there before. That's where I went and got my concealed carry.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about La Bianco limos. I'm familiar with them. They're in the Bronx.
Yeah. We're in Kentucky. Jesus God. He swerves to miss a possum. So anyway, look, the 6-year-old kid found recently by a park ranger, one of their ranger stations. Need you to get out there and investigate because the parents are on the way. Here's the only problem. Dave Evans, 6-year-old boy, he's found. That's great. He disappeared in 1980 at 6 years old. We've kept it out of the media.
Well, as a physicist, that math doesn't add up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been collecting Starlog magazine for years, and the scientific knowledge in there tells me that's completely impossible.
Look, I was born in 1980, and now I'm a full-grown adult, so this is fucking creepy.
Right, look, that's why you're here. We've managed to delay the actual FBI investigation team that's on their way. You have maybe 48 hours, maybe less, to take care of this. We don't know which of the various entities or supernatural creatures is responsible, but obviously Dave Evans should not be back at 6. And so he tells you that the way they identified the kid was the kid gave his parents' home phone number. And so they called the parents first. And a Delta Green tracking program picked up the call and organized you all. So the kid identified himself.
All right, well, look, I am a doctor. Sure, I dropped out of medical school, but I graduated from the School of Hard Knocks. So I think I should examine the boy and see if there's anything that's not kosher about it.
Not a fan of children.
Okay, great. He pulls over at a convenience store, hands you a map, tosses you the keys, gets out, gets into an unmarked car, and drives away.
Wonder if they still make chocodiles in this time period. I'll be right back.
Okay, so you guys have the address. It's Ranger Station in LBL. Apparently that's where they still have the kid. It's a campground. It's 4th of July. There's going to be a lot of campers.
Hopefully they've clothed him by this point.
One would assume.
Yeah.
One would hope they found him some pants.
All right, well, I think Emmy should examine.
Okay. Agent Stewart would like to examine the place where the boy was found.
So you guys, who's driving the Bronco?
Look, I'm from New York City. I don't have a car. I don't know how to drive.
I've got a drive skill because I deliver the mail.
Awesome.
There's no way for me to not sound lame
It's
here.
official. He gets in on the wrong side.
I picked the most.
I'm so used to the 2 sets of pedals.
I picked the most Austin character I could find. I went through a lot of characters. So you drive from Paducah to Land Between the Lakes. It's about a 45-minute drive. As you get there, the weather takes a turn. Dark clouds roll in. stormy weather, thunder, lightning, and it's pouring buckets by the time you get to the ranger station. The ranger station is deep in LBL. It's right at the edge of a campground where people have pulled up RVs and there's tents. And the wind is blowing so badly that most of the campers have come into the large rentable space they have in the ranger station that they sometimes rent out to parties and such. There's lots of people moving around. You see there's lots of cars parked around the ranger station. It is close to the 4th of July after all. On the way there, you go through the file that Carter gave you, and it talks about the history of disappearances in national parks and how over the years there have been dozens of unexplained disappearances. People will disappear without a trace. Sometimes shoes or their garments will be found. Occasionally, when they do find somebody, sometimes they're naked and have no idea where they were or what happened to them. And there's no identifiable explanation. Often, when someone is found, when they recover someone after such an unusual disappearance, it's usually followed by bad weather. So far, the playbook is, as they say, playing out.
Yes, well, this is unfortunate, but I believe I could still make good use of the crime scene if I could take a look at it. I've got a specialized kit here. And Stewart pulls a briefcase from beside his car seat into his lap. Let me tell you a little something about Agent Stewart.
Okay.
He was made a postal inspector by a guy who was at the end of his workday at 4 o'clock on a Friday and needed somebody to make sure addresses were written clearly. Agent Stewart examines every fucking package and envelope as if they are carrying the powdered remains of Jimmy Hoffa and Lee Harvey Oswald.
Because you never know.
So he has this entire like homemade kit of like forensics gear.
Is Ted Kaczynski still out there in this time period?
Look, all I'm saying is this sounds very familiar to me, the disappearing in the national parks and whatnot, because I saw that documentary, The Blair Witch Project, and something very similar happened to those kids.
Oh, you're referring to the time rifts that people experience when walking through the woods.
You arrive at the ranger station, get out, pulling up your coats. You get inside. It's crowded with people milling around. It's an amiable atmosphere. There's lots of people laughing, joking around the tables. Everybody's coming in out of the rain. And you're directed, you ask around a bit, and you're directed to Ranger Nicola Richter. He's in his office, going over some paperwork. You go inside. He's, hi, can I help you?
Ah, yes. Hello, Ranger Richard. Randolph's my name. Got any naked kids?
No, I should inform you that it is typical for Delta Green agents to masquerade as other government agency, as agents of other government agencies. So you guys would have the necessary false ID if you wanted to,
of course,
claim you were FBI or something.
Hello, I am Agent Sellers with the National Endowment of the Arts. I understand you have a child here that was recently recovered.
You get an odd look.
I work for Federal X.
A second odd, strange look.
And I'm Postmaster Stewart, here to look at your mail.
Boy.
Stop it.
You guys mean the Evans kid?
Yes, it was a series of strange circumstances, and they thought we were the perfect combination of people to examine this case from every angle.
Okay, so since you all came up with, except for Austin, completely ridiculous agencies, we're going to need some lying checks.
I don't see anything wrong with FedEx. He should see those guys all the time.
It's not a government agency.
Federal X is what it stands for, right?
Corey, we got to have a talk about corporations.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I guess the closest I see on here is Persuade.
Okay. Yeah, you can roll Persuade. What do you have Persuade at?
20%.
20%. Okay.
Yes, just believe us, random strangers that have come to look at the naked boy.
I have a Persuade of 50%, but Kyle, you said I don't have to roll?
No. You actually have postal inspector identification that's completely legitimate. So.
Agent Sellers' Persuade is 70%.
Damn.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So you guys can roll your Persuades.
And these are all D100 rolls, right?
Yeah.
That is a 70 and 2.
I rolled a 46.
So he believes Sellers thinks she's a bit batty, but he's very concerned about this strange middle-aged man asking about the young boy.
I'm just stupid and weird.
Yeah, we get that a lot.
Yes.
So he takes you to a room next door, which is like a ranger part of the ranger station, like a ranger bunkhouse. And there's a kid in poorly fitting clothes and a blanket, sipping hot coffee, talking to another ranger. They've got a TV, and they're watching a baseball game. Terrible reception. Every once in a while, there's a crackle of thunder, and it's static, fizzes up. Richter goes in and introduces you to Dave Evans and the other ranger, Steven Ryder. And he leans down, talks to the boy. He said, hey, Dave, these gentlemen are from the government, and they're here to ask you some questions while we wait for your mom and dad. Is that okay? The kid's a little brown-haired kid, looks like any other kid you've ever seen. He just wipes his nose. Yeah, that's okay.
Well, hey there, little fella. You can call me Auntie Sellers. I just need to take a look at you and make sure that everything's working, all right?
Ooh.
Okay.
That sounds bad. Maybe you should talk to him.
Maybe we shouldn't be playing this game.
So Todd's got the highest persuasion by far, so I do think he should be the one to have the conversation with Dave. Yes, and as a postmaster, I'm well versed with terrain, so I'm going to take a look at the grounds where this child was found.
So Austin, the park ranger, Steven Ryder, says, you want to go out in this? And he's pointing at the weather outside.
So you know how Flash has a ring that that like just shoots out a costume that he can put on? Agent Stewart has something like that, except it shoots out a raincoat.
Wait, what?
Of course, I'm sure.
Okay. What the fuck?
It's a lame reference.
What are you
still.
talking about?
Oh.
You don't have a magic ring?
You know you don't.
You have mundane things that can be bought in the 90s. You have a raincoat in your pocket. It's small and it's a square, and you unwrap it and it unfolds.
Okay, fine.
I will join you out there, my friend.
Oh, sure you don't have Green Lantern's ring? Do you want to apparate a giant tortoise? And
Just let me find my Mjolnir. So, yeah, Randolph will join Stewart at the site of the reappearance, I guess.
Okay, Ranger Ryder is... You can see he rolls his eyes, but stands up. Okay, let me get my poncho.
Well, it's better than being around the kid. But I do lean over to Sellers, and if he gives you any problems, spank the shit out of him. You can do that in the 90s.
So Ryder takes Randolph and Stewart, goes out. You guys get in his Jeep and head off. Sellers is there with Evans and Richter.
She produces a glaive.
It's very persuasive.
Again? What the fuck? So I don't know if it made it the cut, but I said, yeah, you guys can have normal things that your characters would have.
Yeah.
The first thing Austin goes for is a magic fucking ring. It's Delta Green, not Delta Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm wondering which skill Agent Sellers should use to examine the boy. She has medicine. She has first aid.
Yeah, I think medicine makes the most sense.
Okay. She's a 60% in medicine.
There's some commotion from the other room, and Richter says, do what you need to do, and steps out to go deal with that. Todd, you can roll your medicine.
Actually rolled a 1.
Holy shit.
The child explodes.
Game over. We win.
Yay.
Into little pieces that all spell out, here's how I did it.
The little Cthulhu's inside of him melt harmlessly away.
And we won.
And we celebrate the 4th of July with fireworks.
Guys on the Patreon were full of shit. This is easy as fuck. Colleen gave us shitty characters. Like,
Yeah.
all right, well, tune in next week.
Yeah, so it's solved. The kid dissolves, and Sellers is now the possessed one.
There we go.
No, okay, so Todd, Sellers gives him a typical exam and notices a number of odd things about Dave. She keeps this to herself while he's watching the baseball game. Without an in-depth examination, he looks exactly like a normal kid. Now, you do notice, you're examining his skin, he has nearly invisible seam-like scars crisscrossing his body in bizarre interlocking patterns. You only really see them when you like press on his skin and it blanches a little bit. There's a green tattoo on the back of his neck that's covered by his hair. It
Fucking
looks,
Damien Thorne.
it's 3 squares and what looks like a stylized ram head. And beneath that tattoo, it feels like there's a tiny bump, like there's some foreign material beneath the skin or some type of cyst or something.
Push it and see if he turns off. Cthulhu's in another dimension. Oh no, he found the button.
Curses.
It just changes the Mac ID. So Cthulhu can't connect anymore.
Turns off the Wi-Fi.
That's right.
You also noticed that when you came in, you thought he was drinking hot chocolate. He does have a cup of what looks like hot chocolate, except it is gone cold, while the one that Ranger Ryder had sitting next is still steaming hot. And that is all you learned from your examination. Though you do have some time while you were left alone to ask the boy, Dave Evans, questions if you wish.
How long has it been since you've seen your mom and dad?
Oh, I saw them yesterday, and then I went to sleep.
And when you woke up, where were you?
Roll your persuade.
All right, that's a 70. And that's a 10.
I was in I think a cave, and it was a blue, and there were strangers. And he gets this little kid looking up at you, and stranger is loaded with peril.
Is it like the Kubrick stare?
Yes. But it's the stranger danger, type of there were strangers. And they were really tall.
And he wouldn't know about Adam Walsh yet, being from 1980.
Oh, God. I just have one more little question, Dave, and then I'll let you get back to the baseball game and your hot chocolate.
Oh, it's not hot.
What made it cold? Did you put ice in it, perhaps?
No, I just told him I don't want hot.
Okay, here's a tablet and some crayons. Could you draw the strangers, please?
Okay. And he just starts drawing this tall silhouette, very spindly. It doesn't have a lot of distinguishing features. Of course, he's 6, and he has crayons. Then he draws a small little figure next to it. That's me, and this is a stranger. And then he starts drawing more and more and just keeps filling up the page. And soon there's a frantic energy about it.
I was just wondering, I think I would like some hot chocolate myself. Why do you not want it hot?
I don't like hot things.
Were the strangers hot?
I don't remember. I don't think so. I was sleeping a lot.
Did you have any dreams?
I don't think so. I just remember sleeping and talking to the others.
What did you talk about?
We didn't talk very much because we slept a lot.
But when you were talking, do you remember what you talked about?
Oh, I would just say hi, and the other kids would say hi.
Okay, all right, that's good.
And then the strangers would come in, and we would go to sleep.
All right, I'll let you get back to your baseball game now, Dave, and your cold chocolate, all right? You've been a very good boy, and I'm very proud of you, and I'm sure your parents will be too.
Okay. I don't like baseball.
And by the way, fuck the cards. Mets for life, you little bastards.
So while Sellers is examining Dave, Randolph and Stewart are in a Jeep with Ranger Ryder. In the pouring rain, visibility is not great.
Say there, Ranger, do you mind turning on some of the hits of the day? Perhaps some Sugar Raymond or the Smashed Mouth?
Sure.
I don't want to know Scrubs.
I'm a big fan of Rage Against the Machine myself.
This road is mostly gravel, and at this point, water-filled mud holes. And so just after you all recover from a teeth-grinding lurch, he turns on the radio to the lovely sounds of static. Sometimes I can get AM stations. So there's not much on the radio. You get out to the woods, kind of get more sparse, and pretty soon this trail is going along the side of an open field. You can see in the distance bison. He pulls over at seemingly some random point. There's a culvert not far, and on one of the trees is the shredded remains of a windbreaker impaled on a limb. He says, "This is where I found him, right by that tree. He was just looking around." Rain is still coming down, drumming on the top of the Jeep. It's starting to get really humid inside. What sort of deodorant do you guys have on?
Randolph wears Mitchum.
There you go. Good call.
You can skip a week.
All right, so you guys are at the site where he was found.
So I think it's safe to say, since we have equipment with us in some. I mean, I do not have Lion-O's sword from Thundercats or anything like that. But
no. Do you want a tricorder from Star Trek?
no, thank you.
I mean, you could have a replica.
But do I have some kind of like? I'm a physicist. Do I have something
Yeah.
that could like pick up radiation, something like that?
I would say you could have a toolbox. You could have a Geiger counter in it. You could
Okay.
have some basic scientific equipment.
Okay, I'm gonna do some science shit and see if I can pick up any strange anomalies or what have you.
I mean, you're Delta Green, so you could also have more, shall we say, less conventional pieces of equipment that you might have built yourself.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Stuart's got all the paranormal shit, like EMF reader,
Yeah.
smudge sticks.
So what sort of skill are you going to use, Corey?
Well, I've got a 60% in science. Would that work?
Yeah, you could use your science skill, of
Okay.
course. I mean, it's going to be harder because you're going to have to get out in the rain, and rain sucks. So you need 50 or better, I'll say. Minus 10% penalty, essentially.
Okay. That's a 70.
Randolph gets out, gets in the tree line under, what protection he can from the rain.
Did I mention I'm also wearing Raiden's hat? So that is protecting me from...
Yeah. You go through a couple of scientific instruments. Geiger counter first, nothing. There's no bizarre anomalies with the barometric pressure or anything like that. You turn to a few more pseudo-scientific means that you've used over the years. You take out an EMF reader.
Wait, he has an EMF reader?
He does.
That's unbelievable. Oh!
I like that.
Ba-da-bop.
Hey,
And,
Cthulhu!
yep, Cthulhu appears, says, hey, how's it going?
Hello.
No, the EMF readings are off the chart. You start following kind of a pseudo trail through the woods. You don't get too far. You can still see the lights from the Jeep. And then it just flattens out and the readings are gone. You look back through the trees. You can see the Jeep. The lights are shining kind of perpendicular to you out into the woods. And you could see in the Jeep, Ryder and Stewart looking in your direction, watching you work. And on the other side of the Jeep is a spindly humanoid creature standing in the rain, has to be at least 15 feet tall, very thin, yellowish skin, long arms, and it slowly raises a hand to its lips and does the shushing motion. And you step forward, lose your footing, look away, and then when you look back, it is completely gone.
Say there, where'd you go, spindly doctor? Off to find little miss can't be wrong.
Make a sanity check.
Nice 90s song drop.
Yeah, this will have special meaning for people that were alive in the 90s. Everyone else is just confused.
So my current sanity is 60, so I'm rolling under that. Or
I think that's how it works. That's how we're going to do it.
okay. That's a 73.
All right. You lose 2 sanity points.
Okay, that puts me at 58, and my breaking point's 52.
Nice. So, that figure just disappears. The EMF readings are flatlined. And as far as you can tell, neither Ryder nor Stewart ever had any idea that there was something just right behind them outside the Jeep.
Well, I guess I'm going to use my grappling hook to fire into the Jeep to pull me quickly to the side,
Okay.
back inside.
Sure.
If I can't just use my teleporter.
No, it's
Okay.
too much rain for the teleporter.
Thanks.
It shorts it out.
No, Randolph returns to the Jeep and, well, I suppose you fellows saw old Henry Longfellow out there. That was a tall drink of water.
Oh, did you see something out there?
It was a man 14 feet tall, and he had a weird thing going on.
Yeah, so the park ranger looks at you. Yeah, okay.
I assure you I saw a extraterrestrial being of some kind, or perhaps a monster squad.
Okay, and we're going back to the ranger station right now. He starts the Jeep and starts turning around.
Someone call Jeff Goldblum and Will Smith.
So you guys drive back towards the ranger station unless you're going to try to get the ranger to take you somewhere else.
I was going to say, wait a minute. I need to have a look at the grounds around here and just examine. That's a piece of a torn jacket over there on that tree.
Well, okay, fine. He stops.
Stuart's going to make his search now, since that's what we came out here to do in the first place. And I'm going to use forensics and actually examine the physical grounds where he was discovered and make sure and get that shred of clothing as a sample and see if there are any others around.
And While he's doing that, can Randolph go ahead and use his weather machine to make the rain stop?
Yeah, you can try. It's going to be a very difficult. Okay, Austin, roll your forensics.
Okay, I have a forensics of 50%.
Okay.
Any penalty for the rain?
Yeah, 10% penalty.
Okay.
Actually, no, there's going to be a bonus. So 60. There's a 10% bonus.
Ooh,
What the fuck?
that never happens.
It'll make sense if you make it. If not, you'll just have to, question life.
Okay. So Stuart's eyes glow red as his Terminator vision activates.
Yeah, okay.
It's an 18.
Damn.
So it's been raining for a while. So there's a lot of mud.
Oh, so lots of footprints.
Yeah, well, what you were hoping to find, maybe hadn't been destroyed by the rain yet, would have been Dave Evans' foot trail
Yeah.
that led back into the wilderness. So you don't find that. What you do find is a much shorter trail that starts at the tree. There's a set of footprints, and then a trail leading out to where you assume the Jeep would have picked up Dave Evans.
So it's leading from the tree.
Yeah, it's like he just appeared there and was standing there and then walked over to get in a Jeep.
Is there a carved out jack-o'-lantern on this tree? Like it's a door to the
This is a completely,
Nightmare Before Christmas world.
as far as you can tell, it is a completely mundane tree. You do find other footprints
Oh.
farther into the tree line, some that are much larger and some that are much smaller, like other children's feet, but not that match Dave Evans.
Are they also leading to trees?
Nope. They are just in a tangled, confused morass.
And some of them disappear, and that's when I was carrying you.
But that's all the forensic evidence you would find.
All right, well, fellas, it looks like it's one of those tree doorways.
Ah, yes.
Let's get back and ask the kid about that.
If we must.
Ranger Rider takes you back. You get out of the clearing, back into the woods, driving around. It is getting closer to nightfall. It's getting quite dark. The rain is still coming down. Roar of thunder. Corey, Austin, roll your alertness.
Okay. I've got an alertness of 50.
40 over here. Ooh, got a 20. Finally succeeded.
32.
So both of you see the Jeep is coming around a bend in the road, and standing just in the tree line, you see a shape, small, definitely some sort of a human of some kind, like looking at you, and then just runs and darts back into the woods. It looked like a child-sized figure.
Wait, that might be another one. Follow that kid.
Now, he was off the road. There's no way the Jeep could go into the woods. So riders did not see the kid at all.
Slam on the brakes there, Ryder.
He's like, What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Stuart just gets out and kind of runs after the kid.
Okay, what does Randolph do?
He tries to find a station for another minute, but then he takes off in pursuit. No, he also pursues, yes.
All right, so roll your athletics.
My athletics is a default 30.
Mine's 50. 30.
Ooh, 43.
Stuart falls behind, slips in the mud, face plants, takes a hit points worth of damage.
Okay.
I mean, if you ever fallen in the woods in the rainstorm, it basically just kills you.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I don't
Seven times
I don't
have.
go out
No.
in the woods during a rainstorm.
Well,
Kyle.
that's
Oh, yeah. When it's sunny out, Corey's quite the woodsman.
that's what killed Kurt Cobain.
That's true.
Is
Yeah.
it true? I thought it was Courtney.
So Randolph, with agility belying his age,
I'm not that old.
runs into the woods, catches up to this kid, which you can, as you get closer, you can tell it is a kid, grabs him by the shoulder, turns him around. It's Dave Evans.
How'd you get loose, you little ragamuffin?
And we cut back to the ranger station. There's a flicker of lightning outside, peal of thunder. The lights inside go out for a second, come back on, and Dave Evans and Sellers are there. Baseball game goes out, and Dave says, I guess we could play cards or something. So now there are definitely two Dave Evans, though, of course, your characters don't know that yet. Because at the time you found one in the woods, there's still definitely one with Sellers at the ranger station. And we are going to end there.
Oh, my.
Ooh.
Creepy.
Spooky. Dumb.
But the one Corey found has a tarantula for a tongue.
Hello.
No. So that was our first episode of Delta Green, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, we didn't die.
Not yet.
I liked it. It's fun.
You lost some sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I
Yeah.
dig these characters a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's Call of Cthulhu, but in a more modern setting, and there's a little bit more of a raison d'etre for your characters to be investigating the supernatural rather than just cuz, which is the original Call of Cthulhu motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the one fun thing about the Cthulhu games is the different time settings, because Octung is obviously amazing, but we're also really looking forward to the Cohors set in ancient Rome Cthulhu. That sounds like a fucking blast.
Yeah, which if you don't know what Corey's talking about, there's a game called Cohors Cthulhu coming out from Modiphius.
Yeah.
I assume sometime this year, and it is a Call of Cthulhu in the age of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
A2 Cthulhu?
They killed Caesar, or worse, Caesar. Could go either way.
Caligula Thulu.
No, just a normal guy.
There we go. Got the British invasion Cthulhu coming up.
Yeah, if you've listened to Master Quest, you know we like Call of Cthulhu and 2D20 from it, which I assume Cohors Cthulhu is going to be 2D20.
Yeah.
Got the French New Wave Cthulhu.
9/11 Cthulhu.
I can't wait till late 70s gas crisis Cthulhu.
That's going to be a party.
Global Warming Cthulhu.
Yeah, well, I mean, the late 70s
Studio
gas
54.
crisis, you're mostly just waiting in a car to get gas. It's really... And there's just a guy with tentacles
Damn you,
pumping
Cthulhu, for this line!
it. Cthulhu is inexplicably Arabic. It's weird.
The 2D20s that's how much the gas costs.
Right?
Yeah.
Pepsi Challenge Cthulhu.
But thanks to all our Patreon members. There are a number of Patreon members in this episode. There was Nicola Richter, Anthony Price, Russell Carter, Stephen Ryder, and of course Dave Evans, who is the mysterious child.
And special guest, Mark McGrath.
Yep. Thanks for being here, Mark.
Thanks for subscribing to the Patreon.
Yeah.
Your music is shit, but thanks for your money.
And don't forget to, if you're playing your own tabletop role-playing games at home, make sure to check out Norse Foundry.
Yeah, Norse Foundry, if you go to norsefoundry.com and slap a discount code of CHAM, a C-H-A-M, at checkout, you get 10% off. That's the bastard guarantee, goddammit. And now they got torn-up windbreakers.
Yeah. Yeah, I messaged them and said, hey, guys, I'm going to need some torn-up windbreakers. They said, done.
Yeah. They were even more excited about the poncho ring.
Yeah, they got that weird, what... What is my life even? What does it come to?
I'm going to make you just continually have to reckon with more ridiculous props.
Well, good luck, because that one really just jumped out of the gate.
Wow.
And also, thank you to our sponsor, Barrel and Bond, 100 Broadway Street, at the foot of the Ohio River in beautiful downtown Paducah.
If you meet a yellow guy who puts his finger to his lips, we assure you, you should start screaming.
Especially if he's in the bathroom.
Right.
But most importantly, thank you to all our listeners. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We're continually floored that people do listen. And
Yeah, what the fuck?
yeah,
This summer has been a huge summer of growth for us, and we have only you to thank for it.
yeah, we appreciate it. You're telling your friends.
Tell my
and-
therapist that.
Austin's now 5'10".
He's a big boy. But yeah, as Kyle said, thank you for telling your friends. Like word of mouth, like we've said before, like we've done no fucking advertising for this essentially. Like it's been word of mouth, and we appreciate you telling people about it. And then if you want to follow us on the social media, fine. If you want to review us, fine. If you want to come to our houses, you can go to Austin's.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. I'm Kyle.
Todd.
Corey.
I'm Austin.